Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jose Vigoreaux, president of Vigoreaux Hospitality Entertainment, owner and operator of The Amazing Place, and writer of the Good Teacher articles and videos. I am making this independent video. It's separate from the Good Teacher articles in regards to my food trailer, Vigoreaux The Amazing Place. Now, Vigoreaux The Amazing Place, the trailer, has been operating for only 2 days, and in 2 days, I learned a lot. There were a lot of mistakes, a lot of things that I did not account for. However, these are lessons that I needed to learn, and I'm glad I learned them because fortunately, I live in an area where people are very kind and understanding towards small business owners, such as myself. And although I didn't make a lot of money today, I did make money. Now, mind you, I'm not anywhere in the green or in the black. I'm still in the red. I still owe money to others and myself in terms of balancing out what I spent on building the trailer, getting the food, the equipment, the utensils and whatnot. And yeah, it's just a lot of things. But that's besides the point. So I have a list of things that happened in 2 days. I discovered that my generator has 2 issues. It is powerful enough to power my whole trailer. There's no problems in terms of power. However, the problem is it had 2 main issues. The first issue, which was already resolved a few days ago, was that my generator had a gas leak. And I did not know where this leak was coming from. It took me forever to figure it out until one day I was twisting the nozzle in order to have the gas go into the engine of the generator and discovered that nozzle, the washer that holds the gas in, was damaged, like badly. It was worn, it tore. All the gas that was in it over time was leaking out. And it was too late. I lost like 2 gallons of gas just from that in one day. So luckily, thank you Amazon, I was able to replace that piece fairly easily and it only cost me like $12. I got the washer and a new nozzle. The next issue, which is the one I discovered today, was that my generator generates air bubbles in a little filtration compartment where the gas has to go through. I don't know how these bubbles are developing, but it builds up so much that the pressure stops the gas from going into the engine. And I discovered that when I was playing with the little compartment, I noticed that whenever I pulled the tube, I would hear a hiss, like air was coming out. And I was like, oh great, this thing's generating air bubbles. My generator shut down 3 times because of it. But luckily I kept it going and going and going. Now, another issue that I had on my first day was that I misplaced my cooking utensils. I didn't have knives, I didn't have forks. I had to haul my butt from where I set up the first time back home to grab my cookware and then come back to the trailer. And even then, that was a waste of gas in terms of transportation and a waste of time because of the setup I had already done. And then I had to break everything down just to go back home and bring it back. It was just a lot in that first day. Now, these issues also come with these other issues come with the idea and the fact that I just didn't think about it. I was more concerned about cooking because that's what I love. I love to cook. And man, I'm so joyous right now. But what I learned was that you have to take everything into account. You have to account for gas, power, mechanical issues that may develop, plumbing, just cleaning issues. Everything that could occur, you have to account for. And also the biggest mistake I made in terms of operating on the first day was, you know how the old saying goes, location, location, location? How location is everything? It is. I set up at a place called Lake Cherry Hill in Poinciana, and the foot traffic there was horrible. There was plenty of vehicular traffic, but little to no foot traffic. People don't really go to that area unless it's like the weekend and it's not so hot. Like right now we're in the summer, we're in Florida. It's a terrible place to go at in the heat. And I set up there at 12 noon. It was burning hot. I was sweating so much I could pretty much make my own gallon of sweat. And I didn't sell anything. I was at that location for about an hour, maybe 2. And before I decided that, dang, this place is dead, like, and it's too hot for me to stay here any longer, I have to go. So I did. I left. I broke everything down, went back home, told my family like I didn't get anything, and I came back early because the foot traffic is terrible. Cars were passing by. Oh, but cars would be, people in vehicles would be curious, and not if they're in an area where they just pass by because they're trying to get home. Like, people have lives too. They're not just gonna stop and see what's up, unless it's like a car accident. But other than that, like, they're just not gonna stop. Plus, another issue I had was I had no signs. There's nothing on my trailer that says what I do or what I sell. It's literally just a trailer with lights. So, in my second day, which is today, that I operated, my mom and sister actually gave me an idea to, hey, just make a sign. And I made a sign. It's nothing fancy. I just grabbed a big white piece of whiteboard, got a couple of Sharpies, and just drew, my name, Vigoreaux. I put $6 quesadillas. I drew like a little picture of a chicken, a cartoonish chicken. And, that's what I did. And people, that were able to see the sign went up to me. They asked for quesadillas. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then others, they were coming from the other side of my trailer, and on the other side of my trailer, there's no signs. So they would come to the side door or the side hatch and ask me, hey, what do you sell? I was like, oh, I sell chicken quesadillas. And I was like, oh, okay. And then that's it. But the primary source of income I made today was water. Hot days require a lot of water. So that's something to take into account. And also, on hot days, not many people would be keen on eating a hot food in a hot day, especially here in Florida. It's a lot. It was so many things that happen in 2 days that I have to take into account. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I will leave the last one as you have to have multiple forms of payment. It was very rare for me today to get anyone pay anything in cash. The only thing that I got cash most in was water bottles, because my water bottles are only $1. But when it came to like quesadillas or sodas, people used like Venmo, Cash App, credit cards, debit cards. I was like, wow, that sucks. Like, it got to a point where one person, I think it was my first customer, she bought 2 quesadillas and for $12, and my Square reader was not working at all. And I was like, oh crap, I'm making these girls wait. Like, it was such a hassle, and I was trying to get it done. I was like, you know what, ladies, if you can just follow me on social media, I'll give you the quesadillas for free. And I did. I gave them. They were very appreciative of it, and they were saying, oh, we can wait. I was like, nah, because I know you guys gotta go. And they did. They really did have to go. But I appreciate them, man. I'm a small business. It's a work in progress. But anyways, so although there were a lot of negatives that I learned in 2 days, again, I don't take them as failures. They're more like lessons. There were a lot of negatives, but I also had a few positives. For example, there was this gentleman, KJ is his name, and he gave me advice on buying yard signs, from like a Walmart or a Lowe's or Home Depot, whatever, and putting them in different spots around my trailer where there's high foot traffic and people can see them and they can locate my trailer based on these signs. I was like, man, why didn't I think of that? And I was so appreciative to him. I said, hey, man, for giving me that advice, let me give you this free quesadilla. And I did. I gave him free quesadilla. The only thing he paid for was a bottle of water. He and I also had like a really long conversation. Like long. It was like good 20-30 minutes. Just talking about like what it took for me to build a trailer, what inspired me, what caused me to build a trailer, and so on and so forth. And I told him straight up, like, I'm flat broke. like a lot of people look at that like, oh, you're broke, you're worthless. Well, dude, when you have a dream, you're willing to do whatever it takes to fulfill that dream. And guess what? I fulfilled that dream, and now I'm making money off that dream. And don't get me wrong, this is not a full-time thing yet, right? Currently, I'm a full-time teacher. I'll be making more money in about a month. But the eventuality of my dream is to make that dream into a larger vision where it becomes not just a trailer, but multiple trailers, offices, a stage, and it's a whole bunch of things. So that's 2 things already. And then I made a partnership, and I think I have it here, with something called Fry Fest. I'm not too sure on the details, but once I find it, I will definitely post it on my social media pages for both Vigoreaux Hospitality Entertainment and the Vigoreaux's The Amazing Place. So I made a partnership. Like, I have an event scheduled for my trailer and other trailers, of course, for that event. And that's fantastic. All I had to do was go out and start and operate, and I already have this. And then the last thing I learned was that everything is a process. Not just cooking food, but also preparing your trailer and everything your trailer needs to operate. Like, don't get me wrong, man, I was tired, but whenever somebody ordered a quesadilla, I got up and I felt so energetic because I'm doing something I love. Now, the overall lesson that I want to present to you for this video is make a list of everything that needs to be done for the trailer prior to operating it for the day, the week, the month, whatever. Make that list as detailed as possible. Make it comprehensible for yourself, and if you have employees, make it comprehensible for them. That way, whenever you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh man, I gotta set up my trailer today, let me check the list. Go over your list, make sure everything's good to go, add whatever it is you need to add to it, and move on from there. Right now, I'm working on that list. Actually, it's gonna go on my laptop in like 2 minutes after this video. But anyways, I just want to say thank you, everyone. Seriously, everyone. For the past 7-8 months, I have struggled. I have cried. I got sick. I've been through a lot. And there are so many of you, maybe you don't say it to me directly, but I know you're cheering me on. And if you're not cheering me on, that's okay too, because I know you got your own lives. But for those of you that have been helping me with the donations, the encouragement, the advice, thank you. And for those of you that donated, I promise on my own life that if you need help, and if I can help, I will. I owe my family a lot, and I have a few friends that I owe a lot to as well. You have my word on that. But anyways, I'm over my time again. I wish all of you a fantastic night, a great week, and a greater year. My name is Jose Vigoreaux, Vigoreaux Hospitality Entertainment, Vigoreaux's The Amazing Place, and the writer of the Good Teacher articles. Thank you, and God bless. Bye.